Fans, buckle up, this one's wild in battle red territory. The Houston Texans are still reeling from that brutal clash with the Denver Broncos, and what's coming out now has the entire fan base on edge. You could cut the tension with a knife, a star sidelined without justice, fines raining down on our guys while the other side walks free. It's the kind of frustration that ignites the fire in every Texan's heart, especially heading into a pivotal Week 10 showdown. If you're part of this crew, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and join the conversation. This community runs on real fans like you. Now let's cut to the chase. The player shaking up the entire narrative here is none other than C.J. Stroud, the young gunslinger who's been carrying this team on his back. That hit he took against the Broncos, it wasn't just a play, it was a turning point that's left the locker room fuming and the fan base demanding answers. Stroud, the number 7 pick who exploded onto the scene as a rookie, sliding feet first to avoid contact, only to have Broncos cornerback Crease Abrams-Draine lay him out cold. Head slamming into the turf, concussion protocol activated, and the refs, silent. No flag, no whistle, just the echo of silence that still rings in the ears of every battle red warrior watching from the stands or their couches. Picture this, it's November 2nd, primetime lights blazing over Empower Field, the Texans fighting tooth and nail in a game that slipped away 18-15. Stroud scrambles, does the smart thing, slides to give himself up. But Abrams-Draine, he closes the gap like a freight train, delivering a blow that sends shockwaves through Houston. The quarterback's down, helmet bouncing, and the crowd holds its breath. DeMeco Ryans, the headman with that fire in his eyes from his days as an Eagle, storms the field in protest, but the call doesn't come. Post-game, Ryans doesn't hold back, CJ scrambled. Of course, he tried to slide and the guy came up and hit him. As I see it, it's unnecessary roughness. He hit the quarterback when he's sliding and giving himself up. The frustration boils over in the days that follow. Ryans, ever the straight shooter, doubles down on November 3rd. It's a tough play. Quarterback is sliding. I thought quarterbacks are protected when they slide. But what I'm learning is if you hit them, don't hit them in the head or neck area. They slide, you hit them in the chest, and that's just fine. So that's what I learned. You can hear the sarcasm dripping, the disbelief at a league that preaches player safety but turns a blind eye when it counts. For Stroud, it's not just a concussion, it's a sidelining for Week 10 against the Jaguars, the very team that Alshar infamously took down last year. The irony? Davis Mills steps in, the guy who's got a winning record against Jacksonville, but no one wants backup when the franchise cornerstone is watching from the sidelines. This isn't isolated. The Broncos-Texans tilt was a powder keg of physicality, with 2 unnecessary roughness flags on Denver safety Brandon Jones and long snapper Mitchell Fraboni, yet no fines for them. Meanwhile, the league's eyes turn sharp on Houston. It's that double standard that has Battle Red Nation seething, the kind of injustice that fuels late-night debates in sports bars from Houston to the heart of Texas. Stroud's absence, it's a gut punch. The kid who threw for over 4,000 yards last season, who led this team to the playoffs in his debut year, now forced to sit while the offense recalibrates. Mills has the pedigree, sure, third-rounder in 2021, some bright spots, but Stroud's the spark, the leader who makes the impossible feel routine. As the week unfolds, the whispers in the locker room grow louder. Ryans rallies the troops, emphasizing resilience, but you know the fire's burning. Fans are flooding social media, hashtags like Justice for Stroud trending, demanding the NFL review the tape again. And why not? Plays like this don't just end games, they shape seasons. With the Jaguars lurking, Trevor Lawrence healthy and hungry for revenge after Alshar's hit last year ended his campaign early, the stakes couldn't be higher. Houston's defense, battle-tested and fierce, will need to carry the load, but without Stroud's arm, it's a tall order. The emotional toll, immense. This team built on grit and that Texas-sized heart feels robbed, and rightfully so. Zoom out a bit and you see the bigger picture. Stroud's not just a player, he's the future, the symbol of hope after years of rebuilding. That slide was textbook, protected under the rules, or so we thought. Abrams-Draine, a rookie himself, playing with the recklessness of youth, but the league's inaction speaks volumes. No fine for him, no review beyond the initial non-call. It's the sort of oversight that erodes trust, makes you question if the shield for quarterbacks is as ironclad as advertised. Ryan's comments cut deep because they're real, learned on the fly in the heat of coaching a contender. And the fans, they're right there with him, hearts pounding in unison, ready to roar louder than ever when the Texans take the field. But hold on, because this story doesn't stop at Stroud. The fines are piling up and they're hitting close to home. It's like the league's got a vendetta, zeroing in on Houston while letting Denver slide. The frustration mounts layer by layer as we head into this critical stretch. Battle Red isn't just a color, it's a call to arms, a reminder that this team, this city, doesn't back down, not from hits, not from fines, not from adversity. As Week 10 approaches, all eyes are on NRG Stadium, where the faithful will show up in force, chanting for payback, for Stroud's swift return, for a season that refuses to be derailed. Diving deeper into the fallout, let's talk about Azeez Alshar, the linebacker who's become the lightning rod for the NFL's disciplinary squad. On November 19th, the fines dropped, and there it was. $17,389 slapped on Alshar for unnecessary roughness on a hit to Chargers running back J.K. Dobbins. Wait, no, hold up. It was during that Broncos game, a fourth-quarter stop for a 2-yard loss on a pass play. No flag in real time, but the league's tape room doesn't forget. It's labeled a hit on a defenseless player, and for Alshar, this is just the latest chapter in a book of hard-hitting controversy. Rewind to his history, and it's a saga of physicality pushed to the edge. Back in Week 4, another $17,389 fine for a helmet-to-helmet on Titans QB. Wait, Cam Ward? Nah, probably a slip, but the point stands. He's got a rap sheet. Week 7 against the Seahawks, he dodged a bullet while teammate Derek Stingley got dinged. But the big one, last season's suspension for that vicious hit on Jaguars QB Trevor Lawrence, the one that derailed Jacksonville's year and had the league in an uproar. Alshar, the 2023 free agent signee who's anchored this defense, now faces Lawrence again in Week 10. The subtext, thick as Texas humidity. Will the refs be watching him extra close, or is this fine just business as usual? Alshar's style is what makes him elite sideline-to-sideline speed, a nose for the ball, that relentless pursuit. But it's also what keeps him in the crosshairs. The hit on Dobbins? Ferocious, sure, but in the trenches of an NFL game, lines blur. No call on the field means the players trusted the play. The fine says the office upstairs sees it differently. For Texans fans, it's salt in the wound, their defense, the unit that's carried them through rebuild to contention, now penalized while the Broncos' infractions go unpunished. Brandon Jones and Mitchell Fraboni flagged on the field, yet no fines. It reeks of inconsistency, the kind that has coaches like Ryans grinding their teeth and players like Alshar fighting to keep their edge. And it doesn't end there. Wide receiver Xavier Hutchinson, the speedster who brings that deep threat fire, caught a $5,949 fine for unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting they called it, after a deep ball from Mills lit up the third quarter. Hutchinson celebrating a big gain against Jones, letting the emotion flow in the heat of battle. It's football, raw and unfiltered, but the league's got its rules, and now another Texan pays. Hutchinson, undrafted out of Michigan but earning his spot, embodies the hustle this team thrives on. A fine like that, it stings, especially when it feels petty next to the non-call on Stroud. This Broncos game proved costly on every front. An 18-15 heartbreaker, Stroud's injury, the dagger, finds the twist of the knife. Davis Mills stepping up against the Jags, he's 2-1 lifetime against them, including a win in 2022, offers a sliver of optimism. Mills, with his smooth delivery and pocket presence, has shown flashes, but filling Stroud's shoes, that's pressure cooker stuff. The offense, built around Stroud's mobility and arm talent, will lean on the run game, with Joe Mixon pounding the rock and those receivers stretching the field. Nico Collins, Tank Dell, they'll need to step up, turn short passes into chunk plays. Defensively, it's Alshar and the crew who must shine. Will Anderson Jr., the pass rush phenom, teeing off on Lawrence, forcing turnovers. The secondary, battle-hardened, locking down Jacksonville's weapons. But the fines linger like a bad hangover, reminders of a league that polices unevenly. Ryans in his pressers keeps it measured, focus on the film, on preparation, on bouncing back. Yet underneath, there's that Texas grit, the refusal to fold. Battle Red Nation knows it well, from the Oilers' days to Super Bowl glory in 0-2. Adversity is the forge that tempers champions. As Week 10 dawns, NRG Stadium will pulse with energy. 72,000 strong in pewter and battle red, shaking the stands for Mills, cheering Alshar's redemption, aching for Stroud's return. The Jaguars, with Lawrence seeking payback, represent unfinished business. That suspension last year, it galvanized Houston, turned a villain into a folk hero among fans. Now, with fines fresh, it's about channeling the frustration into fuel. No more sliding into controversy. It's time to stand tall, hit hard within the lines, and reclaim the narrative. Reflecting on it all, this saga underscores the NFL's tightrope, protecting players while letting the game's brutality breathe. Stroud's hit exposes the gaps, Alshar's fine tests the limits. For the Texans, it's a call to unity, to that deep-rooted pride that defines Houston football. Fans, you're the heartbeat, your voices, your passion, pushing this team forward. Subscribe, like, engage, because together we're unbreakable. Battle Red forever, through the hits, the fines, the fights. The season's far from over, it's just getting started, and Houston's ready to roar.